But sometimes, even after the best efforts and precautions of engineers, bridges collapse. To understand what bridge collapse survivors have gone through during a collapse,
We interviewed a bridge collapse survivor in our neighborhood and converted it to an imaginary news report. It goes like so.
This is Ashley from Everyday News 24. Recently, a bridge in Kentucky failed and caused widespread death, damage, and destruction. Millions of people were injured terribly, and the death toll was huge. We have caught one really lucky survivor who seemed to have fainted in the car as the bridge collapsed. What's your name? Your occupation? Where do you live?
The name's Betsy Johnson. I live in Kentucky and I am a civil engineer. That bridge was probably the work of a terrible architect. It just crashed to the ground like a rock being dropped from one's hand.
So, when exactly did this bridge collapse?
Somewhere around 3 in the evening.
Could you describe it, please?
Sure, but it still causes my limbs to shudder in aftershock. I was driving along the road, listening to my favorite track. Suddenly, a traffic jam blocked my way, and I sat there waiting. Dreamily, I stared at the bottom of the bridge that stretched its way across this road and a small but wide river. A creek was expelled from it, but I didn't think too much about it.
That's probably the worst mistake you could have ever made.
It is. In fact, later on, it struck me that bridges aren't supposed to make those sounds. They should be strong, stable. That's when I heard a rumbling creak above, and pieces of concrete, colossal metal cables, and cars came crashing to the ground. That's all I can remember before a piece of concrete fell from the bridge onto my car, and I fainted.
Since you're a civil engineer, why do you think that the bridge failed?
First of all, that's not the right bridge to put there. Using a cable stayed bridge for such a long distance is a terrible idea.
I can see you're quite annoyed with the construction workers who built this disaster. But what bridge do you think could have been built instead?
I would suggest a suspension bridge since they are meant primarily for long distances. Plus, they are one of the strongest type of bridges.
Could you tell us a bit more about how they could have made the bridge stronger?
They could have strengthened the foundation by putting cement there and curing it. If they were planning on making a cable stayed bridge, they should have shortened the span of the bridge to make it more stable. I heard that they wanted to break the record. They shouldn't have done it, though, since it risked the life of some people.
Nighthawk! Thank you, Miss Betsy Johnson.
You're welcome. I hope this stuff doesn't happen again.
All of us do. This is Ash Hawthorne reporting live from Kentucky. We'll be back with more interviews tomorrow. Thank you.